Hello everybody, welcome to Friday. Here we are, end of another great week. Are you thinking, I can't believe how fast this week went by, or I can't believe it's already Friday? Are you thinking, I got everything done that I wanted to get done, or I didn't get anything done this week? Well, I hope you're thinking that you got everything done that you wanted to get done, and you thought, I think this was one of my most productive weeks ever. I hope that's where you're at today. But even if it's not, that's okay. Dial in right where you're at. Acknowledge yourself for listening to this phenomenal mentorship moment, investing into yourself on a daily basis, because I'm going to tell you, if we want to go somewhere different, we've got to do something different. And that different thing is to invest into ourselves so we can learn and educate ourselves. Because there are only two things that can make people live really great lives, is to educate and exchange. Those are the two things, and you know those are two things we're great at here in the Mentorfish community. So today, many of you may know, on Fridays, I kind of like to go out of the week with a big bang or a great big topic or something to really think about that kind of holds you over on the weekends. Some of you say, Keith, I don't need to be held over on the weekends. I listen to the archives on the weekends, or I go back and pick up the ones maybe I missed. Well, that's okay. But I want to give you a great topic. I think today's topic is extremely important. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to discuss it with you today because I really want you to hear what it is I have to share with you today. And I can promise you this, it's going to give you plenty to think about for this entire weekend, if not even longer. This is one of the most important topics that I discuss in anything that I do. And I want to share it with you today because I believe when you understand the value of this topic, it will change your life. All right, so hopefully you're paying attention and you're ready for today's topic. Here's the topic: 5 reasons why people do not forgive. Keith, wow, we're going to talk about forgiveness today? It's Friday. I know. It's a big topic. I want you to think about it because it's very, very powerful. Then we'll get to the question for the day as well. 5 reasons why people don't forgive. Recently, I've been contemplating one huge source of drama in people's lives. What makes so many people unhappy, angry, bitter, and unfulfilled? Often people find themselves and their lives completely out of balance and stagnant because of a cancer growing within them at their deepest emotional levels. If ignored, this cancer has the power to destroy one's life. You may wonder, what's the culprit of all this destruction? It is the insidious disease of unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. I've never met anyone who believes unforgiveness is healthy or beneficial. Yet people continue to walk around with it growing inside them. Some people even make daily decisions to keep it around. Some hold on to their forgiveness for their entire life. I made the decision years ago to never dabble in unforgiveness or have it anywhere near my life in any capacity. Unforgiveness is one of the major reasons relationships and businesses fail. Did you hear me? Unforgiveness is one of the biggest reasons why relationships and businesses fail. The ability to forgive is a success principle absolutely necessary to walk in greatness. If you've never heard it phrased that way, you need to hear it today. The ability to forgive is a principle of success absolutely necessary to walk in greatness. So why do people refuse to experience the power of forgiveness and insist on unforgiveness? These are the 5 reasons why I believe people don't forgive. You know, I had to come up with these because I couldn't figure out why so many people don't forgive. We understand nobody would say, I want unforgiveness, but yet so many people carry it around. So I began to think, why do so many people carry around unforgiveness? Why will they not just let it go? Here's the 5 things I came up with. Number 1, I know this may sound crazy, but I have seen people who think unforgiveness is some sort of game or competition. They tell themselves this lie: if I forgive, then they will win and I lose. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. It's not about winning or losing. It's about protecting yourself from the self-destruction of anger, bitterness, hatred, etc. The truth is, if you don't forgive, you will lose, I can guarantee it. And if you do forgive, you will win, and I also guarantee that. Don't make it about a competition. Forgive. Move on. Number 2. This is the number 2 reason why people don't forgive. I have actually heard people say, I'm not forgiving that person because I'm not going to let them off the hook. You ever heard somebody say that? I'm sure you have. I'm not forgiving that person. I'm not going to let them off the hook. I'm sure you've heard something like that. Again, my jaw drops at such ignorance. Maybe you have even said it before. My jaw drops at such ignorance. Forgiving is not letting someone off the hook. When you forgive, you are taking the hook out of yourself. Forgiveness frees you of the poison keeping you from moving forward in your life. It's not letting somebody else off the hook. It's taking the hook out of you. Don't ever not forgive. The third reason why people don't forgive. Some people ask, if I forgive them, who's going to teach them a lesson? I know you've heard that one. Well, I'm not going to forgive them. If I forgive them, who's going to teach them a lesson? Who will show them how wrong they are? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you learned something from someone simply because they didn't forgive you? Think about that. When's the last time you learned something from somebody because they didn't forgive you? It's ludicrous. It's not up to you to teach them a lesson or show them how wrong they are. Your anger and unhappiness isn't going to show anyone anything. If you want to teach someone something, why not give them a lesson in grace and mercy? You ever think about that? Extending somebody grace and mercy will teach them something far more than what you think harboring unforgiveness towards them will. Now, those are 3 reasons. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I'm going to go into number 4, number 5, but number 4 and 5, they explore this issue at even a deeper level, and I'm going to challenge you to look at the following reasons and see if they show up for you anywhere in your life. Number 4 and 5, they go a little bit deeper, but I want you to consider these and just think about them. It's very important that you think about this today. Number 4, I don't want to forgive them because if I do, I lose my position of power. I want to read that again. Number 4 reason why people don't forgive. I don't want to forgive them because if I do, I will lose my position of power. Have you ever chosen unforgiveness because you want to rub it in a bit more or use it to manipulate someone to do what you want by making them feel guilty? These rationalizations prove that you are using a position of power over somebody. Although you may have convinced yourself of a few short-term benefits in this behavior, you have actually chosen blindness to the long-term cost in your health and in your quality of life. Don't justify that. Don't not forgive because you're afraid of losing a position of power over somebody. Let it go. And number 5, this is very important. Number 5 reason why people don't forgive. If I forgive this person, I may lose part of my identity. Sometimes people have held on to so much unforgiveness for so long that releasing it may compromise a false sense of security. They've had it for so long that by releasing it, they feel like it may compromise a false sense of security, which, by the way, is a made-up story. Put it another way, if they forgive and let go, they may find themselves without any excuses about why they are not creating the life they desire. Their crutch of unforgiveness will be gone forever. And that scares some people. So some people just keep unforgiveness. Don't do that. Get rid of it. I believe all of these are foolish justifications for harboring unforgiveness. As a result of advice I was given years ago, I made a decision that there was nothing anyone could do to me that I would not forgive them for. That does not mean I would not experience hurt and or pain, or that I wouldn't shift or maybe end a relationship, but I never want even a droplet of unforgiveness in my life. I compare unforgiveness to a droplet of cancer in my body. If I choose to show grace and mercy to people because I know I regularly need to be shown grace and mercy, who would I be to refuse to others what I would like to have from others? Which among us is going to pick up the first stone? Not me. See, don't not give somebody something else. Don't not give something to somebody else that you yourself desire, which is forgiveness. Offer it to other people. Don't be tempted by one of these 5 reasons, or any other reasons for that matter, to not forgive. I agree with my uncle's viewpoint on forgiveness. Forgiveness is no longer holding someone else responsible for the quality of your life. Forgiveness is no longer holding someone else responsible for the quality of your life. Today, this afternoon, this weekend, think about who it is that you need to forgive and choose forgiveness. And one thing I want to remind you of, your name might need to be on that list of who you offer forgiveness to. To justify unforgiveness in your body would be like somebody trying to justify cancer. It's ludicrous. It's foolish. Don't do it. Let it go. Get rid of it. And this weekend, don't start another day, don't start another week, don't start another moment without giving forgiveness. Walk no more with unforgiveness in your life. And I can promise you this, you will live great. Big topic for the day. Big topic. I understand. I hope you hear that. I hope you take it with you this weekend. Here's the question for today. I know this is a work in process, but how often do I sit down and reevaluate the questions in building my board of greatness? You know, when we teach in our boot camp in session number 1, we teach about how to build a board of greatness, which some of you may have heard it called a vision board or a dream board. And we have questions. And by the way, if you haven't done one of our greatness boot camps, I highly recommend you getting enrolled in one. Watch the banner out on there on top of Mentorfish on the homepage and enroll in the next upcoming boot camp. If it's been a while since you've gone through one, I'd encourage you to do it again. I've done those steps, that boot camp, several times in my life. You can do them absolutely more than once. But in that first session, there's a list of questions to get you thinking about what your greatness is. And the question is, how often should I revisit those questions? How often should I update my questions in my life? And I always challenge people. I love to answer those questions all the time. You know, you could pick a monthly schedule. I'd answer those questions once a month, just so you can always have connection to what it is you're doing or where it is you'd like to go. So think about your greatness. Always be willing to adapt it. Always be willing to adjust it, polish it, improve upon it, add to it, or take away from it. See, I believe greatness is a continual pattern. I think it's a continual growth. And in my life, so I'm always reevaluating where it is that I'm going. I mean, it's always in the same general direction, but I'm thinking, hey, is this still the highest priority as it used to be, or is this shifted? Or because I'm here now, I can see something further, and I want to add that to my greatness. So I would encourage you, if not monthly, maybe quarterly. That's another great segment of a year. Every quarter, get reconnected. Ask yourself those questions again. Say, you know what is my greatness? Where do I want to be? How am I doing? Where am I going? Do I want to add or take away, delete, edit, polish? What do you want to do to it? Maybe annually. You know, my wife and I, we sit down every year. We take a trip. We spend some time together, just her and I without the kids, and we reevaluate our priorities, which is basically what this question is asking. How often should we reevaluate our priorities? And Michelle and I do it once a year, if not more, but we always take a specific time away, just her and I. We look at the past year. We look at all the decisions that we made prior to that year and what we would do. We say, okay, what did we do? What did we not do? What are our dreams? What are our visions? You know, are we still on the same board, or did we learn something or experiencing something this year that would change it? And then we look for the next year ahead and said, okay, well, what do we want to do for next year? And we ask ourselves all those questions, and we put it within a 12-month pattern. And then there's times that we bring these questions up in between the 12-month patterns, and we say, you know what, I want to renegotiate that. Maybe we do want to go ahead and make that investment, or maybe we want to go ahead and go and do this and start this now. And we renegotiate it together. So what I'm saying is, feel free to update, upgrade, download the new software, if you will, for your greatness as often as you seem appropriate. It's not like you're writing it on the 10 Commandments. It's not like you're writing it on tablets and it's going to be in concrete forever. Your greatness is something that's going to evolve with you as you grow, as you educate, as you exchange. You're going to see bigger and bigger greatnesses. So always be open to revisit those questions. Always be open to upgrade that board of greatness, to add or polish that statement of greatness that we have you make in that session 1. So always be open for that. It's always going to evolve, because I suggest as you grow, and so will your greatness. So move yourself forward, and you will see great, great things. Awesome. Awesome content today. I hope you take this with you over the weekend. I gave you enough content today, as you probably recognize, to last you all weekend. Very important topic. Very important topic. Think about it. And I can promise you this, we will be back on Monday for another wonderful week of Mentorship Moments. We'll talk again soon. God bless you.